Bust in silhouette Kai Run MC. Role: the only logical person in the world. Age: 22. Personality: practical and sarcastic expressionless face. Easily annoyed. Hates dramatic situations. Constantly questioning reality. Special trait: he breaks the fourth wall by pointing out how ridiculous everything is. Running gag: Kai constantly says, "This isn't how real life works," but the world ignores him. Adrian Vale. Trope: cold billionaire CEO. Age: 27. Personality: calm and confident. Extremely rich. Speaks like every sentence is a romantic declaration. Believes fate controls everything. Relationship with Kai: he becomes obsessed after their first meeting. Adrian constantly says things like, "Destiny keeps bringing you back to me." Kai replies, "We work in the same building." Comedy trait: Adrian treats normal events like epic romance. Ethan Cross. Trope: kind and caring doctor. Age: 26. Personality: calm and intelligent. Very patient. Soft-spoken. Observant. Relationship with Kai: Kai keeps getting injured in absurd situations. Ethan treats him every week. Doctor: how did you get hurt this time? Kai: someone dramatically pushed me downstairs during a love confession. Comedy trait: Ethan finds Kai's frustration extremely amusing. Lucas Storm. Trope: flirty celebrity idol. Age: 24. Personality: charismatic, playful, and teasing. Loves attention. Very dramatic. Relationship with Kai: Luca meets Kai randomly and decides he's interesting. He constantly flirts with him in public. Fans begin shipping them. Kai: please stop creating scandals. Comedy trait: he treats everything like a performance. Noah Bennett. Trope: loyal childhood friend. Age: 22. Personality: cheerful, overprotective, slightly possessive. Emotional relationship with Kai: claims they made a childhood promise to marry. Kai insists this never happened. Noah says dramatically, "You forgot, but I never did." Kai: we met in high school. Comedy trait: Noah remembers fake emotional memories. Sebastian Blake. Trope: dangerous rich rival. Age: 28. Personality: cold, intelligent, slightly manipulative. Competitive with Adrian. Relationship with Kai: he offers Kai money to leave Adrian. Kai immediately accepts. Sebastian is shocked. Comedy trait: villain trope moment. Sebastian: take this money and disappear. Kai: deal. Adrian: no. Chapter 1. Why is everyone so dramatic? Kyron had a simple goal in life. Graduate. Get a normal job. Live a peaceful life. That was it. Unfortunately, the world around him was insane. It started at 7:30 a.m. Kai walked through the school gate, holding a cup of cheap coffee and silently praying for a normal day. Then he heard it. A dramatic voice. "I loved you for 3 years, and you choose him instead." Kai froze. Slowly, he turned his head. 2 boys were standing under the cherry blossom tree. One looked heartbroken. The other looked guilty. Pink petals floated through the air like they were filming a movie scene. Kai blinked. Then he looked up. There was no wind. Yet the petals were still falling dramatically. Kai sighed. Again, the heartbroken boy suddenly grabbed the other boy's wrist. "Tell me, was everything between us a lie?" Kai took a sip of coffee. Did they rehearse this? The guilty boy turned away with trembling shoulders. "I'm sorry." The dramatic boy laughed bitterly. "Sorry? Is that all you can say after stealing my heart?" Students nearby gasped. Someone whispered, "Wow, this is like a drama scene." Kai rubbed his temples. Because this happened every single day. Confessions, breakups, love triangles, dramatic rain scenes, people collapsing from mysterious fevers. Someone once ran across the campus shouting, "Don't marry him." Kai had seen it all, and it made 0 sense. The heartbroken boy suddenly fell to his knees. "Kyron." Kai choked on his coffee. "Why are you shouting my name?" The boy pointed dramatically. "You're the reason he changed." Kai stared. "Who are you?" Gasps echoed around them. "Wait. Kyron is involved. Is this a love triangle?" Kai felt a headache forming. No, it's not." He raised both hands. "I literally don't know either of you." The guilty boy looked shocked. "Kai, how can you say that?" Kai squinted. "Have we met?" The boy looked devastated. Students whispered even louder. "He's pretending not to remember. What a cruel man." Kai looked at the sky. Why is everyone like this? Just as Kai tried to escape the chaos, a loud engine sound echoed. Everyone turned. A luxury black car stopped dramatically at the school entrance. The door opened slowly. Out stepped a tall, impossibly handsome man. His hair moved in the wind. Even though, again, There was no wind. Girls gasped. Is that him? The CEO heir? He's so handsome. Kai stared. Why is a CEO at a school? The man's sharp eyes suddenly locked onto Kai. He walked forward slowly. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then he stopped directly in front of him. Silence fell over the entire courtyard. The man spoke in a deep voice. I finally found you. Kai blinked. Who? The man reached out and grabbed Kai's wrist. Students screamed. Kai. The man stared deeply into Kai's eyes. After searching for 3 years, destiny has brought us together again. Kai stared at him. Long pause. Then he said, I think you have the wrong person. The man smiled mysteriously. You still deny it. Kai turned to the crowd. Does anyone know this guy? Everyone whispered excitedly. This is getting interesting. Kai felt a vein pop in his forehead. And for the 1000th time in his life, he thought, why is everyone acting like we're in a novel? Chapter 2. The Coffee Accident. Kai Ren had one rule in life. Avoid crazy people. Unfortunately, crazy people kept finding him, like the dramatic man currently holding his wrist in the middle of the school courtyard. Kai stared at the tall stranger. The stranger stared back like they were in a tragic romance movie. Students around them were whispering excitedly. Is this a reunion scene? He said they met 3 years ago. Is Kai Ren the mysterious first love? Kai looked around, then pointed at himself. Me. The handsome man tightened his grip slightly. His voice was low and emotional. I searched everywhere for you. Kai blinked slowly. Why? The man looked shocked. You truly don't remember? Kai thought very hard. Black hair. Tall. Expensive suit. Dramatic personality. Nope. Never seen you before. Gasps exploded across the courtyard. How cruel. He forgot his lover. Kai rubbed his face. Can everyone stop narrating my life? The stranger finally released Kai's wrist, but his gaze stayed intense. Even if you deny it, destiny will bring us together again. Kai pointed toward the gate. Destiny can walk out that door. The man smiled mysteriously, then got back inside the luxury car. The car drove away dramatically. Kai watched it disappear. What just happened? 5 minutes later, Kai was sitting on a bench trying to recover mentally. He stared at his coffee. This is why I don't talk to people. Finally, peace. Finally, silence. Finally, watch out. Kai looked up. Too late. Someone bumped into him. His coffee flew through the air in slow motion. Kai watched the liquid arc beautifully across the sky, directly toward a very familiar expensive suit. Splash. Silence fell. Kai looked up slowly. Standing in front of him was the same dramatic man from earlier. His perfectly tailored suit was now covered in cheap coffee. Kai blinked. Again, students nearby gasped. Oh my God, he threw coffee at him. Is this a lover's quarrel? Kai turned toward the crowd. No, this is gravity. The man looked down at his ruined suit, then slowly looked back at Kai. The entire courtyard held its breath. Kai prepared himself. Okay, listen, this was clearly an accident. The man suddenly smiled. Kai froze. It was the calm, confident smile of someone who believes something ridiculous. The man said softly, so destiny really won't let us avoid each other. Kai stared. What? You spilled coffee on me the moment we met again. Kai lifted the empty cup. You walked into me. That only proves our connection. Kai felt his brain melting. That proves you don't look where you're going. The man took a step closer. Students started screaming again. Kaya. Kai turned around. Why are you screaming? This is romantic. Kai looked at the coffee stain. This is laundry. The man suddenly extended his hand. My name is Adrian Vale. The name caused another explosion of whispers. The Adrian Vale. The CEO heir? The youngest billionaire? Kai stared at the hand, then at the expensive suit, then at the luxury car waiting outside the gate. Why are you here? Adrian's expression softened. I came to find you. Kai looked behind him. Are you sure you're not looking for someone else? Adrian shook his head. I never forget a face. Kai sighed. Well, that's unfortunate. Adrian suddenly leaned slightly closer. His voice dropped. From today onward, I won't lose you again. Kai stared at him for a long moment, then pointed at the coffee stain. You should start by not losing your dry cleaner. The surrounding students gasped again. That was savage. Is Kyron rejecting a billionaire? Kai groaned. I'm not rejecting anyone. He stood up and grabbed his bag. I'm going home. Adrian watched him leave. A small smile appeared on his lips. Interesting. Meanwhile, Kai walked down the street muttering to himself. A dramatic stranger. A billionaire. A coffee accident. He sighed heavily. I swear my life feels like a stupid romance novel. At that exact moment, thunder rumbled. Rain suddenly started pouring. Kai slowly looked up at the sky. Of course it's raining. Then he shouted, "Why does it always rain after dramatic moments?" Chapter 3. The most suspicious workplace ever. Kyron woke up the next morning with one goal. Have a normal day. No dramatic confessions. No mysterious billionaires. No destiny nonsense. Just peace. He got dressed, grabbed his bag, and looked at the job offer letter on his desk. Vale Corporation, junior office assistant. Kai sighed. Well, at least work should be normal. 1 hour later, Kai stood in front of a massive glass skyscraper. The building looked less like an office and more like the headquarters of a movie villain. Kai checked the letter again. Yep, this is the place. He walked inside. The lobby was enormous. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, people in expensive suits walking around like models in a fashion show. Kai looked down at his simple shirt and backpack. I feel underdressed. At the reception desk, a woman with perfect makeup smiled politely. Good morning. How can I help you? Kai handed over the letter. I'm starting work today. The receptionist looked at the name, then suddenly froze. Her eyes widened. Kyron. Kai immediately became suspicious. Yes. The receptionist whispered something into her phone. Kai heard only one sentence. He's here. Kai frowned. Why does that sound ominous? The elevator doors opened. Kai stepped inside. There were several employees already there. They kept glancing at him, whispering, "That's him." So ordinary. I expected someone more dramatic. Kai turned around. What does that mean? Everyone instantly looked away. Kai sighed. Great. Office gossip on day 1. The elevator reached the top floor. The doors opened. Kai stepped out and immediately froze. Because the entire office floor was completely silent. Everyone was staring at him, like he was the main character of a movie. Kai slowly looked around. Why is everyone staring? No one answered. Then suddenly, click, a door opened. Heavy footsteps echoed through the office. Employees straightened their posture instantly. Someone whispered, "The CEO is here." Kai rolled his eyes. Great. A tall figure stepped out of the office. Black suit, sharp gaze, cold expression. Kai stared. You've got to be kidding me. It was Adrian Vale, the dramatic coffee victim, the billionaire, the man who believed in destiny. Adrian's eyes immediately locked onto Kai. The entire office watched silently. The tension felt like a dramatic movie scene. Kai pointed at him. You work here. Employees looked horrified. Someone whispered, "Did he just talk casually to the CEO?" Adrian walked slowly toward him. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. The air felt heavy. Kai crossed his arms. Before you say anything dramatic, Adrian spoke. I was wondering when you would arrive. Kai blinked. What? The employees gasped. He was waiting for him. Kai rubbed his forehead. Why does everyone react like background characters? Adrian stopped in front of him. You didn't answer my message. Kai frowned. You never sent one. Adrian tilted his head slightly. Strange. Kai sighed. Look, I just work here. Let's keep things normal. Adrian smiled faintly. That might be difficult. Kai instantly felt danger. Why? Adrian turned toward the entire office, then calmly announced, Everyone. The employees straightened immediately. Adrian continued, Please welcome our newest employee. Pause. Then he added, My personal assistant. Silence exploded. Employees gasped. What? The CEO's assistant. He just arrived. Kai stared. Excuse me. Adrian looked completely calm. Congratulations. Kai pointed at himself. I applied for the mailroom job. Yes, this is not the mailroom. The office suddenly erupted with whispers. Is this favoritism? Who is this guy? Why is the CEO smiling at him? Kai turned toward Adrian. I refuse. Adrian blinked. You refuse? Yes. Why? Kai pointed at the crowd. Because everyone is staring like we're in a drama. Adrian looked thoughtful, then said calmly, That's because they are jealous. Kai stared. Of what? Adrian smiled slightly. Of the fact that destiny chose you. Kai felt his soul leaving his body. Meanwhile, the employees whispered even louder. The CEO said destiny. This is definitely a romance story. Kai turned around and shouted, This is a workplace. Silence fell. Then Adrian leaned closer and said softly, You'll get used to it. Kai looked directly into his eyes. I'm going to quit. Adrian smiled. Adrian smiled. We'll see. Meanwhile, in another office across the building, a tall man with silver hair was watching a screen. On the screen was Kai arguing with Adrian. The man grinned. Well. He leaned back in his chair. So this is the person who caught Adrian's attention. He chuckled. This story just got interesting. Back in the office, Kai looked at the chaotic workplace, the whispering employees, the dramatic CEO, the suspicious job position. He sighed deeply, and for the 1,000th time in his life thought, Why does my life feel like a romance novel? Chapter 4. The Secretary Who Thinks She's a Villainess. Kai Ren had been working at Vale Corporation for exactly 3 hours. 3 hours. And already he had made an enemy. A terrifying one. She stood in front of his desk with perfect posture, perfect makeup, perfect hostility. Her name was Victoria Hale, Adrian Vale's legendary secretary, and she was staring at Kai like he had personally destroyed her life. Kai blinked. Did I forget to send an email or something? Victoria slammed a file on the desk. So it's you. Kai looked behind him. Who? You. Kai pointed at himself. Me. Her eyes narrowed. You think just because the CEO favors you, you can steal my position? Kai frowned. Your position? Yes. The CEO's right hand. Kai slowly processed this, then said calmly, I applied for the mailroom. Victoria froze. For 1 second, her villain speech collapsed. Then she recovered dramatically. Don't pretend to be innocent. Kai sighed. I'm not pretending. I'm confused. Victoria leaned closer. Her voice dropped dangerously. Listen carefully. Kai leaned back in his chair. I'm listening. If you think you can seduce the CEO and take control of this company. Kai raised his hand. Pause. Victoria glared. What? Kai looked genuinely tired. Why does everyone assume I'm seducing someone? Victoria smirked. Oh, please. Everyone saw the way he looks at you. Kai thought about Adrian, the intense staring, the destiny speeches, the coffee incident. That's not my fault. Victoria crossed her arms. This is a warning. Kai sighed. I didn't do anything. Victoria turned dramatically and walked away. But before leaving, she looked back and said, Stay away from Adrian Vale. Kai stared at her. I work for him. Across the office, employees whispered excitedly. The secretary finally confronted him. This is getting intense. Kai turned toward them. Why are you narrating my life like background characters? Chapter 5. The Boyfriend Announcement. Kai's day somehow got worse, because now he was sitting in a meeting room with executives, important executives, rich executives, people who looked like they owned entire countries. Kai leaned toward Adrian. Why am I here? Adrian replied calmly. You're my assistant. Kai whispered angrily. I started this job 5 hours ago. Adrian nodded. Yes. Then why am I in a CEO meeting? Adrian looked thoughtful. Destiny works quickly. Kai closed his eyes. I'm going to develop a migraine. One of the executives suddenly spoke. Mr. Vale. Adrian looked at him. Yes. We've heard rumors. Kai immediately felt danger. What rumors? The executive continued. You've been distracted recently. Another added. Because of someone. All eyes slowly turned toward Kai. Kai pointed at himself. No. Adrian remained calm. The executive leaned forward. So tell us. He smiled slightly. Who is the person who captured the CEO's attention? Kai whispered. Don't say anything weird. Adrian stood up. Kai panicked. No. Adrian spoke confidently. Kyron. The room gasped. Kai slapped his forehead. Please stop. Adrian continued. He is important to me. Executives exchanged looks. Someone asked carefully, in what way? Kai waved his hands. Not like that. Adrian answered calmly. He's my boyfriend. Silence exploded. Executives froze. Employees outside the meeting room screamed. Kia. Kai slowly turned toward Adrian. What did you just say? Adrian looked confused. Is that incorrect? Kai stood up. Yes. You said we were dating yesterday. I said we were co-workers. The entire building was already buzzing with gossip. The CEO has a boyfriend. It's the new employee. Kai looked around at the chaos, then buried his face in his hands. My career is over. Adrian patted his shoulder gently. It's fine. Kai stared at him. How is this fine? Adrian answered calmly. It was inevitable. Kai whispered. I hate destiny. Open Book Chapter 6, The Elevator Romance Disaster. Kai decided to go home early for mental health reasons, specifically to escape the insane workplace. He walked into the elevator. Finally, peace, silence. He pressed the lobby button. The elevator began descending. Kai relaxed. Then, the doors suddenly opened again. Adrian walked in. Kai stared. Of course. Adrian stood beside him. Neither spoke. The elevator moved again. Then suddenly, clunk. The elevator stopped. The lights flickered. Kai sighed. Naturally. Adrian looked calm. It appears we are stuck. Kai pressed the emergency button. No problem. Static. Then a voice said, Unfortunately, the repair team will take 30 minutes. Kai leaned against the wall. Great. Meanwhile, outside the elevator, employees gathered around the security monitor. They're trapped together. This is definitely a romance scene. Someone whispered dramatically. The elevator trope. Inside the elevator, Kai sat on the floor. Adrian watched him quietly. After a moment, he asked, Are you angry? Kai stared at the ceiling. You told the entire company we're dating. Adrian nodded. Yes. Why? Adrian answered simply. Because I want to. Kai stared. That's not how relationships work. Adrian sat beside him. Then how do they work? Kai opened his mouth, paused, then said honestly, not like a romance novel. Adrian smiled slightly. But those are interesting. Kai groaned. I'm surrounded by crazy people. Outside the elevator, the employees were still watching the monitor. One whispered, They're sitting together. Another gasped. This is the emotional moment. Inside the elevator, Kai suddenly noticed Adrian staring at him again. Why do you keep looking at me like that? Adrian answered calmly. Because you're interesting. Kai sighed. That's the worst compliment I've ever received. Meanwhile, Kai thought, why do all romantic situations keep happening to me? And the universe replied silently, because this is only Chapter 6. Chapter 7, The Rich Rival Appears. Kai Run thought the worst part of his week was being falsely announced as the CEO's boyfriend. He was wrong, because today another billionaire appeared. Kai was organizing files when the office suddenly became noisy. Employees were whispering again. He's here. No way. Those two hate each other. Kai slowly raised his head. That sounds bad. The office doors opened. A tall man walked inside wearing a black suit. Dark hair, sharp eyes, dangerous aura. He looked like someone who wins business deals and destroys enemies for breakfast. Kai whispered to the nearest employee. Who is that? The employee gasped. You don't know? No, that's Sebastian Blake. Kai waited. And he's Adrian Vale's biggest rival. Kai sighed. Of course he is. Sebastian walked straight through the office. Everyone moved aside like he was royalty. Then he stopped in front of Adrian's office. The door opened. Adrian stepped out. The two men stared at each other. The tension felt like a battle between two final bosses. Employees whispered excitedly. This is intense. Kai whispered. Why do they look like they're about to duel? Sebastian suddenly spoke. So, his gaze shifted directly onto Kai. This is the famous one. Kai pointed at himself. What famous one? Sebastian walked closer, slow, confident. Then he smiled slightly. You must be Kai Run. Kai sighed. Yes. Sebastian studied him carefully. Interesting. Kai crossed his arms. Why do rich people keep saying that? Sebastian suddenly pulled out a card, then calmly said, "I'll give you $10 million." The entire office froze. Kai blinked. "For what?" Sebastian replied casually, "To leave Adrian Vale." Silence. Employees gasped. Kai immediately held out his hand. "Deal, Adrian." "Absolutely not." Kai turned. "Why not?" Sebastian chuckled. "Oh, this is going to be fun." Open Book Chapter 8, The Company Beach Trip. The Vale Corporation company trip was supposed to be relaxing. Instead, it became chaos. Kai stepped off the bus and stared at the ocean. "Why are we at a beach?" An employee explained happily. "It's the annual company retreat." Kai looked suspicious. This feels like a romance novel episode. Meanwhile, employees were already whispering. Beach episode. CEO plus boyfriend at the beach. Kai turned around. "We are not dating." Nobody listened. Adrian appeared beside him, wearing casual clothes for the first time. Kai stared. "Why do you look like a model?" Adrian looked confused. "Is that unusual?" "Yes." Suddenly someone shouted, "Volleyball time." Teams formed instantly. Team 1 Adrian. Team 2 Sebastian. Kai looked horrified. Oh no. 5 minutes later, the volleyball match became a battle of billionaire pride. Sebastian smirked. "Let's see if you can win." Adrian replied calmly, "I always win." Employees screamed like they were watching the Olympics. Kai sat in the sand. "I just wanted a peaceful life." Then the ball suddenly flew toward him. Kai tried to dodge. Too late. Smack. The volleyball hit him in the face. Kai fell backward. The crowd gasped. Dramatic injury. Kai groaned. "It's a ball." But the next moment, Adrian and Sebastian both rushed toward him. "Are you hurt?" "Who did this?" Kai looked at the sky. "Why is everyone so dramatic?" Open Book Chapter 9, The Doctor Who Sees Kai Every Week. Kai was sitting in a hospital room again, for the third time this month. The doctor sighed while checking his chart. "How did this happen?" Kai replied tiredly, "Volleyball." The doctor adjusted his glasses. "You have a sprained wrist." Kai nodded. "Yes." Then he added quietly, "From dodging a ball thrown by billionaires." The doctor blinked. "What?" Kai shook his head. "Never mind." The doctor smiled slightly. "My name is Ethan Cross." Kai nodded. "Kyron." Ethan looked at the medical record again, then raised an eyebrow. "You've been here 3 times already." Kai sighed. "My life is cursed." Ethan chuckled. "What happened the other times?" Kai began counting. "Fell downstairs during a dramatic confession. Got pushed into a fountain during a love triangle. Now volleyball." Ethan stared at him. "Your life sounds very interesting." Kai looked dead inside. "No, it's exhausting." Ethan finished wrapping the bandage, then said gently, "Try to avoid dangerous situations." Kai laughed. "I wish." Outside the hospital, Adrian and Sebastian were arguing again. Kai walked out and sighed. "Why are you both here?" Adrian answered calmly, "I was worried." Sebastian crossed his arms. "I wanted to see the damage." Kai looked at the sky. "I need a new life." Open Book Chapter 10. Kai finally explodes. It finally happened. Kyron reached his limit. The office was chaotic again. Employees whispering. Adrian staring dramatically. Sebastian provoking everyone. The secretary plotting revenge. Kai stood in the middle of the office. Silent. Very silent. Too silent. An employee whispered, "He looks dangerous." Adrian approached him. "Kai." Kai suddenly raised his hand. "Stop." The entire office froze. Kai took a deep breath, then shouted, "Why is everyone like this?" Silence. Absolute silence. Kai continued yelling, "Why are billionaires fighting over me? Why does every situation turn into a drama? Why do random people keep declaring love in public?" Employees looked shocked. Kai pointed everywhere. "You, stop whispering like background characters. You, stop acting like a villain. You, stop saying destiny." The entire office was frozen. Kai finished with one final shout. "This is real life, not a novel." Silence. Then Adrian spoke quietly. "But what if it is?" Kai froze. "What?" Adrian looked thoughtful. "What if our world actually follows story rules?" Kai stared at him. "That would explain too much." The entire office slowly realized something. Someone whispered, "Wait." Is that why everything feels dramatic? Kai looked terrified. Don't encourage this. But in the distance, someone was watching them through a screen. A mysterious voice said quietly, "The protagonist is finally noticing," and smiled. Interesting. Chapter 11. Suspicious Coincidences. Kyron sat at his desk with a notebook. He had started collecting evidence. Because something was very wrong with the world, he wrote down a list. Evidence number 1. Every dramatic moment happens when it starts raining. Evidence number 2. Every time he trips, someone catches him in slow motion. Evidence number 3. Rich, handsome men keep appearing around him. Kai tapped the pen. This is extremely suspicious. Right then, careful. A hand grabbed his arm. Kai blinked. He had just slipped on a wet floor. Adrian was holding him. Kai stared at him. How did you appear that fast? Adrian looked confused. I was walking behind you. Kai looked around. You were across the room 5 seconds ago. Adrian shrugged. Kai wrote something in the notebook. Evidence number 4. People teleport during dramatic moments. Later that afternoon, Kai tested something. He stood dramatically near the office window, then whispered to himself. Usually something emotional happens now. Nothing. Kai waited. Still nothing. He relaxed. Maybe I'm overthinking. Suddenly the door burst open. Sebastian walked in dramatically. We need to talk. Kai wrote another note. Evidence number 5. If you say something dramatic, someone appears. Kai slowly looked at the ceiling. I'm living in a novel. Open book chapter 12. The idol appears. Kai thought the situation couldn't get stranger. He was wrong. Because today, a celebrity appeared at the company. The office exploded with screams. Lucas Storm is here. Kai looked up. Who? Everyone stared at him. You don't know Lucas Storm? No. He's the most famous idol in the country. Kai blinked. Okay. Then the office doors opened. A tall man with silver hair walked in. Stylish clothes. Movie star looks. Confident smile. Fans would probably faint just by seeing him. Employees were already losing their minds. It's really him. Kai whispered. Why is an idol here? Lucas Storm walked directly toward Adrian. Adrian. Adrian nodded. Luca. Kai immediately sensed history between them. He whispered. Oh no. Then Luca noticed Kai. His eyes lit up. And who is this? Adrian answered calmly. My boyfriend. Kai nearly dropped his coffee. We are not dating. Luca suddenly leaned closer, studying Kai's face carefully. Then he smiled. Well, he's cute. Kai stepped back. Please don't start. Luca laughed. Oh, this is interesting. Meanwhile, the employees were whispering again. Idol love triangle? This story just got better. Kai shouted. This isn't a story. No one listened. Chapter 13. The internet ships them. Kai's life was officially ruined. Because now the internet discovered him. Kai opened his phone and immediately froze. Trending hashtag. Hashtag CEO and his boyfriend. Kai stared in horror. What? He clicked it. Thousands of posts appeared. Photos of him and Adrian. Photos from the beach trip. Photos from the hospital. Fan edits. Fan art. Kai looked traumatized. Why are there slow motion edits of me falling downstairs? One post read, the CEO caught his boyfriend before he fell loudly crying face red heart. Kai screamed internally. That was an accident. Another post. Rival billionaire jealous of the boyfriend. Kai sighed. I'm not even involved. Then a new hashtag appeared. Hashtag Kyron Harem. Kai blinked slowly. Harem? The comments listed names. Adrian Vale. Sebastian Blake. Lucas Storm. Dr. Ethan Cross. Kai dropped his phone. No. Adrian walked into the room. What's wrong? Kai showed him the phone. Adrian studied the posts calmly. Interesting. Kai stared. You're not concerned. Adrian shrugged. It's not entirely inaccurate. Kai shouted. Yes, it is. Open book chapter 14. Escape attempt. Kai decided something important. He needed to escape this insane story world. Step 1. Quit the company. Kai walked into Adrian's office. I'm resigning. Adrian looked up. No. Kai blinked. What? You can't. Kai crossed his arms. Yes, I can. Adrian replied calmly. You signed a 3-year contract. Kai froze. I don't remember that. Adrian slid a document across the desk. Kai read it slowly, then whispered, "When did this happen?" Adrian smiled slightly. "During the dramatic rain scene." Kai stared at him. "I signed a contract in the rain?" Adrian nodded. Kai whispered to himself, "This world has no logic." Step 2. Move to another city. Kai packed his bags, bought a train ticket, went to the station. Then suddenly, he bumped into someone. "Sorry." He looked up. It was Ethan the doctor. Kai stared. "Why are you here?" Ethan smiled. "I'm attending a medical conference." Kai slowly turned around. Across the platform stood Adrian and Sebastian. Kai whispered, "This is impossible." Step 3. Run away. Kai ran straight out of the station. He stopped in the street, breathing heavily. Then suddenly, rain started falling. Kai looked up at the sky. Of course. Then someone handed him an umbrella. Kai turned slowly. Lucas Storm was standing there, smiling. Running away from destiny? Kai looked completely defeated. "I hate all of you." The mysterious observer watching everything whispered. The protagonist is resisting the plot, then smiled. But the story has only begun. Chapter 15. The script. Kai Ren returned to the office the next day with zero hope for sanity. His plan was simple. Work quietly. Avoid dramatic situations. Ignore billionaires. Very reasonable goals. Unfortunately, the universe disagreed. Kai entered Adrian's office to deliver documents. But Adrian wasn't there. Kai placed the files on the desk. Then something caught his attention. A black notebook sitting on the corner of the desk. Kai frowned. "What's this?" He opened it and immediately froze. The first page read, Chapter 15. The protagonist discovers the script. Kai blinked. "What?" He flipped the page. The text continued. Kai Run will enter the office and accidentally find the script that controls the story. Kai slowly looked around the room. "This is not funny." He kept reading. "Soon Adrian Vale will enter the room." Kai's eyes widened. Right then, the door opened. Adrian walked inside. Kai slammed the notebook shut. Adrian looked confused. "What are you doing?" Kai slowly turned toward him. Nothing. His brain was screaming. Later that afternoon, Kai hid in the break room and opened the notebook again. He flipped to the next page. Scene, break room. Kai whispered, "No way." He read further. Kai will spill coffee in exactly 10 seconds. Kai dropped the notebook. Absolutely not. He stepped away from a coffee machine. Very carefully. 10 seconds passed. Nothing happened. Kai crossed his arms proudly. Then suddenly, an employee bumped into him. The coffee cup flew out of his hand. Splash. Coffee everywhere. Kai stared at the floor, then slowly picked up the notebook again. This thing is evil. Chapter 16. Testing the script. Kai had a theory. If the script predicted the future, then maybe he could break the story. He sat at his desk with the notebook. The next line read, Sebastian Blake will enter dramatically. Kai rolled his eyes. Not happening. He stood up, walked to the bathroom, locked himself inside a stall. Try entering dramatically now. He waited. Silence. Kai smiled. I win. Then the bathroom door burst open. Run. Kai froze. Sebastian's voice echoed inside the bathroom. Kai, we need to talk. Kai whispered slowly. You followed me into the bathroom? Sebastian looked confused. You disappeared suddenly. Kai stared at the script again. This world is insane. Later he tried something else. The script said, Adrian will stare intensely at Kai. Kai immediately walked behind a wall. 5 minutes passed. Nothing happened. Kai grinned. I'm beating the system. Then he heard Adrian's voice behind him. I was looking for you. Kai slowly turned around. How do you keep finding me? Adrian tilted his head. Instinct. Kai screamed internally. Kai flipped through the notebook again, then suddenly stopped. A new line appeared. Soon another character who knows the truth will appear. Kai whispered. Another one? Open book chapter 17. Someone else knows. Kai was walking home when it happened. Someone grabbed his arm. Kai turned, ready to fight. But instead, he saw a young man with messy black hair. The stranger whispered urgently. You found the script, didn't you? Kai froze. What? The stranger pulled him into an alley. Lower your voice. Kai stared. Who are you? The stranger sighed. My name is Noah Park. Kai waited, and Noah looked around nervously, then whispered, "This world is a novel." Kai felt chills. "You know too?" Noah nodded. "I've known for years." Kai stared at him like he was seeing a miracle. "You're the first sane person I've met." Noah laughed. "Trust me, I'm barely sane." Kai showed him the script. Noah's eyes widened. "You actually found it?" Kai nodded. "Do you know what this is?" Noah whispered. "It's the author's outline." Kai blinked. "Author?" Noah pointed upward. "Someone outside this world is writing our story." Kai slowly processed this, then whispered, "So my life is literally a BL novel." Noah nodded. "Yep." Kai covered his face. "I'm going to faint." Open Book Chapter 18, The Original Protagonist. Noah led Kai to a small cafe. "There's something else you should know." Kai sat down. "What?" Noah looked serious. "You're not supposed to be the main character." Kai froze. "Excuse me. This story already had a protagonist." Kai blinked. "Who?" Noah sighed. "You're about to meet him." The cafe door opened. A gentle-looking young man walked inside. Soft smile, kind eyes, warm personality. He looked like the perfect romantic lead. The man waved politely. "Hello." Kai whispered. "Who is that?" Noah answered quietly. "That's Daniel Seo." Kai waited, and Noah leaned closer. "He's the original protagonist of the BL novel." Kai stared in shock. "Then what am I?" Noah smiled slightly. "You're the character who accidentally stole the story." Daniel walked toward them happily. "I'm glad we finally met." Kai stared. "Why do you look so nice?" Daniel smiled brightly. "Because I'm the protagonist." Kai whispered to Noah, "I hate this already." And somewhere far away, a mysterious voice whispered, "The story is changing," then laughed softly. "This protagonist is much more interesting." Chapter 19. The original protagonist reclaims the story. The day begins too perfectly, which immediately puts Kai Run on edge. The sky is bright. The office smells like fresh coffee. Everyone is smiling like they're inside a toothpaste commercial. Kai narrows his eyes suspiciously. Why does everything feel like the beginning of a drama episode? The entrance of the true lead. At exactly 9 a.m., the company lobby doors open. A man walks in. Tall, elegant, gentle smile, soft silver hair, perfect posture. The employees freeze in awe. Whispers spread instantly. Who is he? He's so handsome. Is he a celebrity? The receptionist gasps. That's Evan Vale, the heir of Vale Corporation. Kai slowly turns around. The moment he sees Evan, he immediately feels something is wrong. Not because Evan is handsome, but because everyone around them suddenly starts acting like they're in slow motion. Employees stare with sparkles in their eyes. Background music seems to exist. Kai rubs his temples. Oh no, the script reacts. In Kai's pocket, the mysterious novel script notebook suddenly vibrates. He pulls it out. New words appear on the page. Chapter 19. The protagonist returns. The true protagonist, Evan Vale, enters the story to reclaim his destiny. Kai stares at it in horror. You have to be kidding me. Evan's destined encounter. At that moment, Evan walks directly toward Adrian Hale, the CEO, the supposed male lead. Their eyes meet. Employees around them gasp. It's happening. They look so perfect together. Kai facepalms. Why is everyone shipping strangers already? Evan's gentle smile. Evan bows politely. Mr. Hale, I've heard so much about you. Adrian looks confused. Have we met? Evan smiles softly. Not yet, but it feels like destiny. The entire office gasps again. Kai nearly chokes. Destiny, my foot. The script shows the next event. Kai quickly checks the script again. New words appear. Evan will accidentally trip and fall into Adrian's arms, creating their first romantic moment. Kai screams internally. No, absolutely not. He looks up. Evan is walking forward. And yes, he trips. Kai reacts instantly. Without thinking, he grabs Evan's arm and pulls him upright. Evan does not fall. Adrian does not catch him. The dramatic moment fails completely. The entire office freezes. The story glitches. The lights flicker. Someone drops a pen. The atmosphere becomes awkward. The script in Kai's hand changes again. Error. Romantic event interrupted. Kai whispers proudly, huh. The protagonist notices Kai. Evan slowly turns toward Kai. For the first time, his perfect smile disappears slightly. His eyes narrow. Interesting. He leans closer to Kai and whispers quietly, "You're the one ruining the story, aren't you?" Kai freezes. "How do you know that?" Evan smiles again, but this time it feels dangerous. Because this story was supposed to be mine. Adrian makes everything worse. Right at that moment, Adrian suddenly walks over. Without warning, he casually wraps an arm around Kai's shoulders. The entire office gasps. Adrian says calmly, "This is my boyfriend." Silence. Evan's smile cracks slightly. Kai slowly turns to Adrian. "You just started a war." Adrian tilts his head. "I did." End of chapter. Hook. Evan looks at Kai with a mysterious smile. Then he says quietly, "Fine. If the story has changed, I'll simply take the protagonist role back." Kai stares at him. "Oh great. Now the protagonist is my enemy." He sighs dramatically. This world is exhausting. Chapter 20. Kai accidentally becomes the most popular man in the story. Loudly crying face. Kyron wakes up with a terrible feeling. Not because of work. Not because of Adrian. Not because of the annoying secretary. But because the novel script changed again. He opens a notebook. New words appear. Chapter 20. The unexpected protagonist. Due to multiple narrative disruptions, the story shifts focus. The character Kai Rin becomes the center of the plot. Kai stares at the page. What? He flips the page. All male leads will begin competing for Kai Rin. Kai closes the notebook slowly. Then he whispers, "I'm going back to sleep." Disaster begins immediately. Kai arrives at the company. Something is very wrong. Everyone is staring at him. Employees whisper, "Is that him? He's even cuter in person." That's the CEO's boyfriend. Kai freezes. Why are people looking at me like I'm a celebrity? Male lead number 1, Adrian Hale, CEO. Adrian suddenly appears beside Kai. Without warning, he places a cup of coffee in Kai's hand. "Drink this." Kai blinks. "You bought coffee for me?" Adrian nods. "You like caramel latte?" Kai stares. "How do you know that?" Adrian pauses. "I researched it." Kai nearly drops the cup. "You what?" Male lead number 2, Luca Storm, the idol. Suddenly, the office doors burst open. Fans scream outside. A famous idol walks in wearing sunglasses. It's Luca Storm. He removes his glasses dramatically. Kai freezes. "Why are you yelling my name like we're in a music video?" Luca grins. "I wrote a new song about you." The entire office gasps. Kai almost faints. "Stop using me for content." Male lead number 3, Dr. Ethan Cross. Right on cue, Kai suddenly slips on the floor. Crash. Everyone panics. Dr. Ethan Cross appears instantly. He kneels beside Kai. "Kai, are you injured again?" Kai groans. "I tripped on air." Ethan sighs gently. "You really need someone to take care of you." Kai screams internally. "I do not need a full-time doctor." Male lead number 4, Evan Vale, original protagonist. The elevator opens. Evan steps out. He looks at the scene. Adrian standing close to Kai. Luca smiling at Kai. Ethan holding Kai's hand while checking his pulse. Evan smiles, but it's clearly not a happy smile. Well, so the story really did change. Kai whispers, "I am so dead." The competition begins. Adrian crosses his arms. "He's my boyfriend." Luca laughs. "He never confirmed that." Ethan calmly says, "Kai's health should come first." Evan steps closer. "Why don't we let Kai choose?" All 4 men look at Kai. Kai freezes. His brain stops working. Then he screams, "Why are you asking me?" The script updates again. The notebook in Kai's pocket glows. New words appear. Main character popularity route activated. Multiple love interests competing. Kai stares at the page. "I didn't choose this route." Absolute chaos. The office becomes a battlefield. Adrian schedules Kai a private dinner. Luca posts a photo online saying, "Spending time with someone special today." Fans immediately start trending. #Kyron. Ethan schedules weekly checkups. Evan casually says, "I'll simply steal the protagonist role back." Kai finally breaks. Kai slams his head on the desk. This world has lost its mind. He points at the sky. Who is writing the story? Cliffhanger ending. Suddenly, the notebook shows new text. Chapter 21. The author appears. Kai freezes. Wait, the author exists. He slowly looks up. Oh no. Chapter 21. Kai meets the author. Kai spends the entire night staring at the mysterious script notebook. One sentence keeps glowing. Chapter 21. The author appears. Kai mutters to himself. Great. So the person ruining my life finally shows up. The strange cafe. The next morning, Kai decides to test something. He writes in the notebook. Kai goes to a quiet cafe. The moment he closes the notebook, his phone suddenly rings. Unknown number. A calm voice speaks. Come to the cafe on Maple Street. Kai freezes. I didn't tell anyone that location. The voice chuckles. I know everything you write. Kai slowly hangs up. That must be the author. The meeting. Kai enters the cafe. It's strangely empty. At the corner table sits someone wearing a hoodie. A laptop is open in front of them. The person types quickly. Every time they press a key, Kai hears someone outside screaming dramatically. Kai walks closer. Are you the one writing this world? The person finally looks up. They smile. Hello, Kyron. Kai's eyes widen. You know my full name. The person shrugs. I created you. Kai slams his hands on the table.
Why did you make my life a romantic comedy?
The author's explanation. The author calmly sips coffee. This was supposed to be a normal BL novel. Kai points outside. That idol wrote a song about me. The author sighs. Yes, the story broke when you started interfering with the plot. Kai crosses his arms. So fix it. The author shakes their head. I can't. Kai blinks. What? The characters gained free will. Kai slowly processes that, then whispers. You're telling me the story is out of control? The author nods. Completely. The new problem. The author turns the laptop toward Kai. The screen shows a comment section from readers. Top comment. Kyron is way more interesting than the original protagonist. Second comment. Make everyone fall in love with Kai. Third comment. Chaos route best route. Kai stares in horror. People are watching my life like a TV show. The author smiles nervously. Congratulations. You're the most popular character. Kai slowly stands up. I hate everyone. Books Chapter 22. The characters break the fourth wall. Kai storms back to the office. But something feels strange. Everyone is acting even weirder than usual. The jealous secretary is staring at the air. She whispers dramatically, I can feel someone watching us. Kai freezes. Excuse me. Luca the idol. Luca suddenly runs into the office. He looks straight at Kai. Then he looks past Kai, directly at the camera. He waves. Hello, viewers. Kai grabs his head. What viewers? Luca smiles. I can hear them cheering. Kai slowly backs away. Oh no. Adrian's discovery. Adrian sits at his desk calmly. Kai rushes in. Adrian. Something is wrong with everyone. Adrian looks up. Yes. Kai sighs with relief. Finally someone normal. Adrian continues calmly. I discovered we are fictional characters. Kai immediately regrets everything. The doctor figures it out. Dr. Ethan Cross appears behind Kai. I suspected this for weeks. Kai turns slowly. Why didn't you tell me? Ethan shrugs. You seemed stressed already. Kai screams internally. The entire world realizes. Suddenly, everyone's phones start buzzing. A trending topic appears online. Hashtag we are in a novel. Kai reads it in disbelief. This is the worst timeline. Books Chapter 23. The world starts glitching. The next morning, reality starts breaking. Dialogue loops. Kai enters the office. The receptionist greets him. Good morning. He walks past her. 5 seconds later. Good morning. Kai turns around. She repeats the same line. Over and over and over. Kai whispers. The story is glitching. Background characters repeat. 2 employees in the hallway repeat the same conversation. Did you hear the CEO has a boyfriend? Yes, I did. 5 seconds later. Did you hear the CEO has a boyfriend? Kai walks away quickly. This world is literally bugged. The sky changes genre. Outside the window, the sky suddenly becomes pink with sparkles. Kai screams. Why is the sky in romance mode? The author panics. Kai opens the script notebook again. New message appears. System error, story unstable. Then another message appears. Multiple protagonists detected. Kai slowly looks up. Around him stand Adrian, Luca, Ethan, Evan, all staring at him. The notebook writes one final line. Final arc approaching. Kai sighs dramatically. Of course it is. Chapter 24. The world has too many protagonists. The script system announces that the story now has 5 protagonists: Kai, Adrian, Luca, Ethan, and Evan. Because a novel normally only has one main character, the world begins malfunctioning. Scenes randomly shift between romance, action, tragedy, and slice of life. Kai walks into the office, and suddenly dramatic violin music plays. Kai, why is there sad background music? I'm just buying coffee. Chapter 25. Kai becomes the story's core character. The author explains something shocking. The world is stabilizing around Kai's decisions. If Kai chooses something, the plot changes instantly. Kai becomes the accidental main protagonist of the universe. Kai, I didn't sign up for this promotion. Chapter 26. The Escape Plan. Kai and the others decide the only way to fix the world is to leave the novel entirely. But no one knows how. Luca suggests, maybe we break the fourth wall harder. Kai, that's not a real strategy. Chapter 27. Searching for the final page. The author reveals every story has a final page. If they reach it, they can choose the ending themselves. But the final page keeps moving because the story is unstable. Kai groans. So we're literally chasing the end of the book. Chapter 28. Genre chaos. The world keeps switching genres. Romantic drama, high school AU, mafia thriller, fantasy kingdom. Kai suddenly becomes a knight for 10 minutes. Kai, why do I have a sword? Chapter 29. The Rival War. All 4 love interests begin competing more aggressively for Kai. Adrian buys an island. Luca writes 3 songs about Kai. Ethan schedules daily medical checkups. Evan calmly buys the company Kai works at. Kai screams, I am not a prize. Chapter 30. Kai's meltdown again. Kai finally explodes. He points at everyone. You're all insane. He points at the sky. And whoever is reading this story, stop encouraging them. The sky flickers. Readers are clearly enjoying it. Chapter 31. The author disappears. Suddenly, the author vanishes. The script system announces, author control lost. The story is now fully uncontrolled. Kai becomes the temporary narrative anchor. Kai, I didn't even finish college. Chapter 32. The villain appears. A new character emerges. The editor. Their job is to fix bad stories. They decide the chaos must end by deleting characters. Kai, oh great. Now we have a final boss. Chapter 33. Characters fighting the story. The editor begins removing scenes and people. Background characters disappear. Entire buildings vanish. Kai and the others must literally fight the narrative itself. Chapter 34. The Confession War. Believing the story may end soon, the love interests confess. Adrian, I want to protect you. Luca, you inspire my music. Ethan, you make my life meaningful. Evan, you changed my destiny. Kai screams internally. This is the worst timing. Chapter 35. Kai writes the story himself. Kai finds the author's laptop. He realizes something shocking. He can write the story himself. But writing an ending means everything will change permanently. Chapter 36. The editor's final attack. The editor tries to delete Kai completely. The world begins collapsing. Sky cracks. Buildings fade. Characters start disappearing. Chapter 37. Kai saves the story. Kai writes a new rule into the story. Every character can choose their own life. The world stabilizes. The editor loses control. Chapter 38. The world becomes real. The novel transforms into a real world instead of a scripted story. No more forced romance. No more narrative control. Everyone finally has free will. Kai collapses in relief. Chapter 39. The Choice. Now that the story is no longer forcing romance, Kai must actually choose someone. Adrian, Luca, Ethan, Evan. They all wait nervously. Kai sighs. I need a vacation before making life decisions. Chapter 40. The Ending. Months later, Kai is finally living peacefully, but the four love interests are still competing. Kai looks at the camera and says, maybe the story doesn't need a fixed ending. The final line appears, and so the story continues.